Hello everyone and welcome back to Fire Emblem the Sacred Stones. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Titanium Legman, and today, it's time for the last mission of Ephraim's story. That's right, we're going back to the deserts of Gehenna to rescue Eirika, wage war on two of the greatest generals that Grado has ever seen, and win the day. So let's go, shall we? Ephraim's sister is in danger. Grado's General Kellic has attacked Gehenna Hall, forcing its surrender. Though Eirika and her troop have left the hall, Grado's forces pursue them relentlessly. Trapped in the burning desert, enemy forces close in on them from all sides. With no time to wait for Frelia's troops, Ephraim leaves for Gehenna immediately. He must go to his sister's aid. And so he shall. For the most part, this map is going to be the same as it was when we saw it from Eirika's perspective, except this time, we will be spawning down in the bottom left corner of the map, where Ephraim's troops spawn, as you can see, on Eirika's route. The more pressing concern is the fact that Eirika's going to be where she spawns on her route, but it's going to be just her, Sala, and Ines. And it's going to be a little bit of a shit show as a result, so that's my primary concern, is going to be getting people over there and helping her immediately, but let's read the opening dialogue first. There's Gehenna Hall. It's nothing but a ruin now. Blast! I don't know what's happened, but I'd better get to Eirika and the others as soon as possible. I've discovered which of Grado's generals lead the forces surrounding the hall. Vault of the Moonstone and Kellic the Tiger Eye. Two of the strongest of the Empire's generals, with near peerless forces. Above all else, we must rescue Princess Eirika. And yet, if you fall, Prince Ephraim, we're all finished. And this accursed sand. Most of the units can't get proper footing and are being slowed down. Mounted units are having the worst time, as their movement is severely limited. Some of us can move better than others, though. A combination of magic wielders and skyriders should give us some advantage. Whatever we do, we must move cautiously. I understand. This is just like the battle for Renval. We either rescue Eirika or defeat all the enemy troops. If we accomplish either goal, victory is ours. Let's move! Now note, he says that, but our actual mission objective is still to wipe out the enemy. Just like getting to Eirika doesn't end things. It'd be interesting if that was the case, but I'm not sure how they'd implement that. How goes it, Kellic? Ah, Prince Leon! Thank you, Your Highness, for gracing me with your royal... You can stop. There's no need for you to put on airs. You were made general for your military prowess, not your flowery speech. And an honor it is! You know, Prince Leon, you've got a lot of nerve. You've really worked your dear friend and the Princess of Renais. Worked over, even. Are you satisfied? Is there some reason you ask? Nah, not really. I just wanted to see how you'd react, that's all. Eirika has always been a very important person in my life. Both she and her brother have been friends of mine for a long time. Tell me, Kellic, do you have any friends to speak of? Huh? Yeah, I got one. An old mercenary I fought with went by the name of Joshua. He was a fool and a scoundrel, but now that he's gone, I miss the lad. I don't know where he's at or what he's doing, but... Do you miss that life? Do you ever want to be a mercenary again, to see him? Nope. The time we worked together was fun and all, but... no. I don't want to end up another no-name mercenary lying dead in a ditch. Rather serve the Grado Empire and make a name for myself. Going to see how far my axe will take me, and then one day, you'll kill me and be emperor in my stead. Is that it? It's alright. Think whatever you like if it helps you do your duty. As long as you do what I assign you to do, I'm happy. But for now, I'm going. You know what you need to do. Yep. Leave it to me. I am General Kalik, the Tiger Eye of the Great Imperial Army. After all, my accent is making me fumble the words. Once my prey is within my reach, I never let it escape. Too bad for the princess, but they've no chance of winning. None at all. God, that is a brutal accent to do, and I'm sure I'm not good at it, so... but it's fun nonetheless. Okay, so it is interesting, and one of the reasons that I wanted to do this fight from Ephraim's perspective, that we actually get some background on Kalik's history with Joshua that we don't really see on Eirika's side, because Joshua's caught up in the whole, you know, his mom and the kingdom and all that stuff. But, it's one of those precursors to some of the more modern Fire Emblems, and the way they try to weave in more of the characters into the overall world, especially Three Houses. It's really nice. It gives the members of your army, some of whom are fairly bit players in the grand scheme of things, the sense that they actually belong in this world, and it's really, really nice. I mean, Joshua obviously isn't a bit player. He's the prince of one of the major kingdoms, but you know what I mean. If you didn't get that information, you would think he was just another mercenary. So, but all that aside, that does not help us with strategizing. So, something to note. Seth talks about mounted units having a hard time in the terrain, and he's right to a degree, but there is the fact that we now spawn in this bottom left corner, where we actually have a very clear plane that our cavalry can move on without too much issue. So it's worth it, well, it's less of a hindrance, I suppose I should say, to bring cavalry here, as opposed to with Eirika up here. Because, like, they have room to move, but it's far more limited, and there's less enemies overall for them to deal with, so... that said, we're still only going to be bringing a couple cavalry at most, because the majority of our force needs to be able to move quickly north and back up Eirika. So, let's see here. I did a little bit of restocking and reorganizing of stuff. You can see people have less random useless gear that they just acquired during the mission, and more stuff that they can actually use. Also, notably, I should actually do this quick, we have a guiding ring on Natasha that I mentioned I was probably going to do during the previous mission. And speaking of mounted units, it just makes more sense to make her a bishop here, so that way if I need to move her across the sands, I can, as opposed to making her a Valkyrie, so we're going to do that. And then we also have a Knight Crest that's on Ford, and I think he might be one of the units that we bring. Nice! Stat ups, girl. Awesome. I think he'll be one of our mounted units that we bring, probably. There is a lot of contention for that spot with Amelia and Dussel and Seth and all that good stuff, but, where is Ford? Here we go. Oh yeah, and even Garrick now. I forgot we had a Ranger. Alright, away you go. I may have mentioned in the past, I think I did, but I don't think Ford makes a good Great Knight at all. His stat line definitely comes across as more of a Paladin archetype, and then Kyle is definitely more of the Great Knight. I've tried it both ways, and I struggle with Ford normally anyway. This is an abnormal playthrough for me, but the best results I've had with him have been making him a Paladin, so. And that is that. We will get these two some gear to fill in the gaps that they have now left from their promotion items. And then everyone else should be all equipped, I think. So now the question is, who do we want to bring? Obviously, we have to bring Ephraim, and we wouldn't want to drop him anyway. Now that Natasha can cast, I think we'll... well... Do we need Mulder? We have loot for spot healing. But do we want loot? We actually probably want Mulder because of the sand. And we're definitely not bringing La Rochelle, so... Probably Natasha and Mulder. I might drop Ardor then. If we compare Seth and Ford... Yep, Seth is just better in every way. Okay, cool. Well, we may not be bringing Ford anyway, despite his promotion. I think we're still bringing Seth. Seth and Dussel to hold the line. Colm and Naimi. Now, this is an interesting question. If we bring Colm and Naimi, we can try and steal the items off of Kalik and Valter to make fighting them a little bit easier. And then, especially with Naimi, she'll then be able to do bonus damage to Valter. But... I think our Naimi is too fragile to engage with Valter anyway. I think unless he didn't have his spear equipped, which we could maybe finagle that happening. But it's risky. It's real risky. We'd have to put someone in range with the Killer Lance, which means we'd basically have to get the Hoplon Guard on them from Kalik to make sure that they wouldn't take the crit, because that would kill pretty much anyone. Probably not worth it, honestly. Plus, I'm not worried about bringing a thief or anything to get items in the sand, because we're going to be done after this, so I think we're going to drop them. Do we want Garcia and Ross? Possibly. We have 4 slots available currently, and we definitely need Tana and Cormag to beat a hasty movement up towards Eirika. Joshua we have not been using here, so as fun as it is to bring him and have him engage with Kalik and get that dialogue, not worth. Renais, dump your inventory because I forgot to do that before. We could bring Tethys, we could bring Null. But Null's too much of a liability, especially on hard. He'll just get killed and I'll be sad. Dump your inventories, everybody. We could grab Garrick. Maybe just Garrick and Arter, done. Tethys is also a possibility. We already have 3 cavalry, though. And I don't think we need more than that. I think Arter and Tethys. I think that's the play here. Who fights Valter, then? Ross? We don't really have a... I don't even know if we have a Lance Reaver, actually. We could maybe do Seth with a Lance Reaver? If we have one? Oh, we do. Ooh, okay. Maybe he's our Valter killer, then. Cormag is also a decent option, actually. Mainly because they have dialogue, since Valter killed Cormag's brother. So maybe a Seth-Cormag power duo could be good. Unfortunately, can't put a Silver Lance on Cormag, so that's a shame. We're not going to have any bow wielders. Is that acceptable? I think so. Oh, actually, we have Ross, if we really needed it. One thing I do want to do, though, quick, is get a Dragon Lance on one of our Lance Wielders. Dragon Spear, whatever. Dragon Lance is a book series. Okay. I think for the most part we're good, and then if we desperately need to change anything up, we can always hit up the caravan with a frame. So, yeah. I should probably use at least that Angelic Robe. Maybe Arter? Yeah, I think so. Arter has the most pathetic health out of everybody, so... And you know what? Just take the rest of it while you're at it. Why not? Become awesome. Wonderful. Alright. Formation up real quick. I think just cavalry in the front up here because they pretty much have nowhere else viable to go than right. I think the flyers probably want to be to the north. And actually, I think we're going to adjust this Paladin Amelia with Tethys so that she's slightly more in range of our flyers. Garcia and Ross will push north as well. And I think that's good. Alright, guys. Let's do this. Prince Ines and Sala. I'm sorry, I'm absolutely powerless here. Eirika, you have nothing to apologize for. We're not defeated yet. Yahanna Hall has fallen, that much is true. But if we can hold out until Ephraim arrives, we still have a chance of victory. And reports place Lady Mer at Prince Ephraim's side. It is my duty to protect her. I will not die without having fulfilled my obligation to her. You're right. I made a promise too. I told Ephraim I would live to see him again. We have to pull together. All of us. We just have to hold out a little longer. If we pool our strength now, I vow that we will all live to see our friends again. Big words! Big words. It's a precarious position that they're in up here because remember all those Pegasus Knight reinforcements? Yeah, those are still going to spawn. Also, actually, Eirika's doing okay. Eirika auto levels to 15 here since we haven't been using her. If she isn't already at that point, which, God, if she already is, you've been grinding too much. But I've had god-awful Eirikas here. Like, I've had Eirikas with 5 strength here. It's abysmal. So, I'm glad to see that she's doing okay. Ah, man, it's always tough on where to send them. You could go down into the desert, but then you have to worry about the Wyvern Riders on the right. You couldn't push over towards Kalik, because that's probably the first point of contact that you're going to make with Ephraim's army, but then you've got to deal with Kalik's whole force, which is a problem. But for now, we are going to have the Flyers move up here and at least do some damage to this force. And they should be able to deal with these archers with little to no issue. I say is Tana's having accuracy issues, as usual. Well, hope for the crit to secure the day. Or just maybe we get lucky. Nope, damn it. Okay, well, we have Tethys available. And I was probably going to move north with Garcia and Ross anyway, so... Can we get Garcia into melee range with this archer? Do we have to huck a hand axe at him? He only has 1 attack's worth of damage in him, I think. So we might not need to get Garcia next to him. Or, oh, God. Garcia can't double him. Okay. Good lord, these guys are dodgy. Wow. Okay. I mean, I don't want to see this guy just blow Tana up, but let's see if we can get him. Hey! Actual luck. Okay, sorry about the interruption, guys. I had to go take a phone call real quick. Now then, we've successfully slain that archer, which is good. We have this front to deal with, which is fine. I did remember that we have a Berserk staff over here that we have to deal with, so that is something to consider. So I think we still have restore staffs on both Mulder and Natasha, so that's not too big of a deal. I think as a stopgap measure, we send Dussel north and just try and do some damage to this mercenary so that one of the others who's actually going to be going north can finish him off next turn, if he doesn't just kill himself on our blades, which is possible. And then we'll have Dussel come back down and rejoin the front on this side next turn. That said, we do have a cadre of fighters here who are all just basic dudes with iron axes. The more powerful cavalry is back this way, but even then, they're the secondary front. We can start luring these guys out without aggroing them, which is good. Even the, come on, give me the attack range, thank you. Those shamans we don't have to worry too much about either. So I think we'll just let Amelia come up here. Make sure that her sword is on. We'll have Seth back her up, and we'll start working on that front. Now, I think just sheerly out of the merit of her being further in the back, we'll leave Natasha here to work with them, and we'll have Mulder go north to help the northern front. And... I may actually wind up wanting to have Ardor stay with these guys, since there's a decent number of Dark Mages down here that he can work on, and also just so we have magic damage to back up the calves, along with Natasha. And then everyone else can go north. I think that'll be the way to go. I'll probably have Ephraim stop in here and grab the Master Seal just because. And maybe even then... Actually, maybe I have Ardor grab it and then we can just promote him. That's a plan. I think that's the way to go. Okay. Now then, to the problem children here. Eirika, Ines, and Sala. I don't really... Well... If we can have Eirika and Sala clear out the mercenaries, we can have Ines work on the Berserker. That won't happen this turn. The issue is that there's going to be those not Paladin, Pegasus reinforcements that are going to be coming in. I think, given our Eirika's strength, we'll have her push left. I probably still... Yeah, she doesn't have maxed speed, so I don't think we want to use the Steel Sword on her. That'll nerf her speed by 10. Or not by 10, by 5. Which will make her unable to double these guys, yeah. So we need to leave her with the Iron Sword, which is fine. I don't think she'll kill anything, but we don't necessarily need her to. We just need her to lure them in. And actually, hold on. This guy's going to be able to make it through the trees, so what we can do is we can put Sala here and let him deal with the other one. Perfect. Then we'll have those mercenaries probably pushing on us from behind. We can try and deal with them next turn. And at least not have to worry about those fighters pushing up on us, because we'll hopefully eradicate them. Hey, look at that. Fancy little flourish of a crit. Very nice. Well, that should be an easy pickup for Cormag. Surprising that he went for Cormag. I guess because he could do... Well... If he could do damage to Cormag, he could definitely do damage to Tana, but he probably had the higher chance to hit Cormag, and as such went for that, if I had to take a stab at his reasoning there. Really? Alright, that's not an auspicious start for our return to Eirika. Good lord. Uh-huh. So we don't have mercenaries coming from the right. We have wyverns coming from the right. That's something. Also, this guy... This guy was the one who could have gone for Sal, and he went for Eirika instead. Right. Okay, yes, that makes sense. I can't believe I didn't see that. Well, fair enough. Dussel, come on back. I think Ephraim grabs... We don't even see the dialogue. And... he doesn't really need this Iron Lance, because he's got the Regan Leaf, so... And that will let Arter take this, and can he potentially take a... I think we have enough healing. We'll give him a fire and make him a sage. Yes. Wonderful. Wunderbar. The good lad is just that little bit stronger now. With his very fancy color palette. I didn't appreciate his color palette as a kid, but now it's pretty snazzy. I do like it. Got beefy, beefy res, too. You should be able to pick up the shamans down here. No issue now. Okay. Well, the good thing is... all these guys are pretty much all basic equipment other than the hammer guy, who's not a concern for anyone we're sending up there. So we can just fly Cormag in if we want. We can even send Tana after the shaman. There we go. I might also want to have Cormag fly out to the right and meet those wyverns. That's also a possibility for him. A Luna that we are literally never going to use. Understood. I mean... Ines and Sala can clear these guys up and allow Eirika to heal. I think we just do that, and then let Cormag go take care of the wyverns, and the rest of the force... I mean, Jesus. Actually, no, she won't, because they're slowed by the sand. Huh. Yeah, none of them actually can get to Tana now. That's funny. Alright, well, do we get Sala killed if we put him in the tree? I don't think so. They're not that fast. He's not that slow. In fact, he's faster than they are. Not by a matter of doubling them, but still. Sala's pretty good, so... one of the better pre-promotes for sure. And then Cormag we will have you deal with these guys. They're all steel lancers, so that's interesting. Pretty short berserk range on the troubadour. And only an iron blade to worry about there, so I think we're pretty safe. Just going up here and launching some lances. Get the intercept going. Alright, terrestrial units, roll out. We could even potentially leave Tethys down here with the cavalry, just so that there's a little bit more maneuverability and damage dealing that we can do with the limited units that we're going to have. Not that we're that limited or anything either, but, you know. Very nice. Very easy dodge for Amelia. Gotta say, probably the best Paladin Amelia I've ever had. She's turned out quite nice, all things considered. Usually she falls behind a little bit more than I would like, but I'm okay with this. I may... I'm worried about the shamans. That's my only real issue. I was going to say I could put Seth on that fort and try and bait out a berserk usage, but he doesn't have a throwable lance, and his resistance isn't the best, so I don't want to tempt fate with the shamans. Alright, let's see what the next enemy turn brings. Nice, thank you, Cormag. I am concerned about his accuracy. Short spear is notoriously not very accurate, so that is having an impact on it. But, rough level. If we were going to have him fight Valter in any form or fashion, he would need to be more accurate, and I don't know if he's going to have that ability. Fair enough. Even 50-50 split. Couldn't have expected anything more than that. Yeah, this is the issue. This is the issue. We may not be using Cormag against the boss today, folks. Nice. Excellent dodges, Sala. Thank you. Nice. Not even Amelia has the strongest resistance as a cavalry-based unit. Cavalry-based melee unit, specifically. But, thankfully, her ability to dodge helps bolster that weakness a little bit. Nice, okay. That dodge is going to be big. If he can get the second hit here... Nice, huge, cool. Cormag is pretty much set now, because we can just have him fly away and heal, and the primary threats that he was there to deal with are now dealt with, so hey. Oh god, Pegasi. Okay, that's the part that I don't like. Garcia notably getting doubled by these guys, that's a little concerning. Tana can double them. What are her chances of being hit by the axe fighters? Not high. What are Sala's chances of getting hit by the axe fighters? Higher. Higher than I'm strictly comfortable with. But if we can get a little bit of a blitz going here, clear some dudes out, we should be in pretty good shape. Oh, god damn it. That's what I was really hoping we would hit. Okay. Critical miss from a Ness. Definitely a problem. Ooh, interesting. The issue with that is even if she killed him, then she would have a lance out, so she'd have a much higher chance of getting hit by the axe fighters. We'd have to move Mulder up to trade her gear, which would put him in danger of getting hit by the axe fighters. Probably not our best move. Even so, I think just Sala and Tana here should be fine. This is a bit of a bold maneuver. And I'm not going to lie. It was definitely born from the fact that I misclicked and meant to have Sala fall back instead of attacking. So, we're rolling with it, and we're going to see what happens. Oh, boy. This could be interesting. I'm kind of worried that they might just try and slaughter Renais as well. I don't... He should be able to dodge enough to survive, but we'll see. We will see. I will get Tethys to dance for a frame here, get him caught up, because we can use the firepower. Okay... Now, I think we just have Cormag come up here, equip his Iron Lance, heal, and just start dealing with mercenaries. That way we don't have to worry about them encroaching from our flank while we're trying to get everything sorted with Eirika. And yeah, I think we just eradicate some shamans here. How does that sound? Goodbye. You are the weakest link. Stab. Nice. And Dussel, can you do the same? You can! With gusto, even. Beautiful. What we like to see. Now... I suppose we just have Amelia post up here, see if she can bait out that, that shot from the Berserk Staff. And we see what they do. Okay. First critical dodge. More likely than not, Ines is fine now, but I don't want to call it too early. Oh, well, I mean, if one of them goes for Sala and misses. Alright, cool. So now, the only thing that could even potentially be a concern would be if the Shamans decided to move up and were actually able to hit and do damage. Not going to say it's impossible, but I'm not feeling particularly pressed about it either. All these mercenaries with Iron Blades are really doing themselves a disservice right now. Even if it is fitting for their sprite. Beautiful. Oh, and he even got the double. Nice. I was going to say this might be another just heal up and pass turn for Cormag, but now he can probably just smack that other mercenary and be done with it. Right, Pegasi. Might still be a post-up and heal turn, then. Really? A rare miss from Dussel. Okay. Alright. Fair enough, Cavalier. You've only taken incredible damage rather than being outright slaughtered. Another rare miss. Team, we good? People fatigued? What's going on here? Oh, this will probably hit. I mean, you know what? That's fine. That is fine. We have... Oh, excuse me. My goodness. My apologies for the yawn on mic. We have one dedicated healer and one potential off healer if we need to toss him a heal staff, so I'm not too worried about incidental damage here and there for the cavalry team. Alright. Cool. Team Kalik is performing far better than I expected. And we got the Ranger to move up. Beautiful. I didn't know if he was going to aggro or not, so that's nice. Get that chip damage in. We can swarm him and finish him off next turn. Look at these guys actually using their physics staves that they don't use half the time. More Pegasi, more Cavaliers. The reinforcements are flooding in, and it could quickly get out of control if we're not careful. Mulder's got a pretty good color scheme for a Sage as well. Very down to earth, which I like. Very, like, hedge magey, you know? It's pretty cool. Renais just picking off shamans left, right, and center. Oh, and if we look at the time, we are just about out. So I guess we'll finish this turn, let it come around to the next turn, and then probably call it. At least for this one. Finish it up next time. Let's see here. Not even going to think about aggroing Kalik this turn, I don't think. Eirika might take a hit here, but it shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, it's fine. We can have her healed up with Sala, and we have Tana here to deal some solid damage. There we go. Deal some solid damage to the Myrmidon, and then I think Garcia should be able to finish him off. Garcia turned out better than I expected him to. I kind of threw him in at the Great Keep on a whim, but he's doing all right for himself. Getting doubled by Myrmidons notwithstanding. All right, and Sala, if... Oh, Sala doesn't have a Mend Staff. Really? Oh, that's actually concerning then. I thought he did. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. God, what's the over-under on Eirika getting killed here? So, this Pegasus has 20 attack. Eirika has 5 defense. So that would be 15 damage that the Pegasus can do against her, but weapon triangle disadvantage. I think, it's been a long time since I thought of this calculation, but I think weapon triangle advantage gives you plus 20% to hit and plus 2 damage. Which, so long as I'm not doing the math wrong, would mean that she would be able to one-shot Eirika, which means we need to get her out of there with Sala. Okay, done. Whew! That could have been bad. We do have this guy to worry about with the Silver Lance. Do some damage here, and then maybe Ardor can do enough damage to finish him off, and the others can deal with the little guys, I think. Very nice, very nice. Always good to see good levels, even if we're not going to be saving them after this. Really? Wow, okay. I don't want to move all the way behind this guy to try and get the kill. That's a little bit out in the sticks for me. We can go here with Ardor. Nice. Ardor's first casts of Fireball, killing a man, as was foretold. Pyromaniac Ardor is inbound. Okay. Who has the best accuracy on this guy? It would appear to be Seth. Come on! Nice. Promoted units at this point having just enough of a stat bump over their contemporary allies to potentially pose a threat to us. And it always gets just a little bit of a nail-bitery. A little bit of a nail-bitery? A little bit nail-bitey. There we go. Natasha's first cast of light, also slaughtering a man. And apparently slaughtering my ability to speak. Good lord. And Dussel doing as Dussel does. Wonderful. All right, let's see how the enemy turn goes, and then I think we're going to call it. Kalik is just going to be waging unholy war on a small army's worth of reinforcements over here. And you know what? I think he's equipped to handle it. Probably going to get a lot of javelins hucked at him. However, these guys are wielding steel lances, which are going to weigh them down heavily, which I think means he'll be able to double. Hell yeah! Plus the 1% crit, the kill with the flourish, my man on the dragon's back, Cormag. Lego. He still has another use of his vulnerary, and I think the entrance to Gehenna Hall counts as a throne. I think. So if I'm right, he'll heal up at the start of the turn, too. Not all the way, but enough to keep him going. They're all going after him with the steel lances. Well, they can actually do decent damage with them, some of them. If this persists and they have more reinforcements come in, we are going to have to send people over to back them up. Oh, going after Natasha. Fair enough. Woo, fair enough. That's some chunky damage. Fortunately, she is a dodgy lass, so that's good. Another ranger. Oh, would have been nice. Oh, really? He can double? Wow. Okay. God, it's been a while. Have we seen Dussel get doubled at this point? I don't think we have. Jeez. Definitely going to have to send people over to Cormag if another wave of reinforcements spawns. That will be untenable. I will take the weapon level increase, though. We could throw a Silver Lance on him mid-mission now if we wanted. Yep, more reinforcements and more calves. Okay, well... Oh, and it does count as a throne. Beautiful. With that and his vulnerary, he'll be in okay shape for another turn at least. But after that, he's definitely going to need the backup. So we'll start sending people over there. But, that said, that is all the time that we have for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. I do very much appreciate it. If you know someone that you think would enjoy this series, or any of my other series, if you shoot them a link, well, that would just be swell. Until the next time, though, I hope you all have a good night. Stay safe and healthy out there. And remember, be good to each other. Bye now.